Okay. After breakfast, I hurried footsteps accompany the secretaries as they echo in the corridor. They're heading toward the council room. Give me the latest report on the rebellion at the border.
Yes, Your Majesty. 2 days ago, an armed conflict broke out in the Sten Galaxy, a vassal to the Empire. Their former leader was overthrown. The new leader, Helron, has publicly declared succession and is launching an assault on the Empire's Fortress No. 1. The major station there defected during combat and colluded with Sten's forces.
Fortress No. 1 is a strategic choke point on the Empire's border. Its firepower is enough to lock down an entire Sten galaxy. It's the Empire's spear and its shield. If it falls, unrest will inevitably spread to the heartland. The traitor at the border. Major Ways, I presume. Where is he?
After the rebellion was crushed, he was taken to the Empire's most secure prison. Now, he waits for Your Majesty's judgment.
I meant to say mayor, not wager. Oh well. Good, let him roommate? There are more pressing matters at hand. Since the rebellion at Fortress No. 1 has been dealt with, the power vacuum has formed. Spoils must be claimed. The greedy nobles have been gathered in the council room. They're greedy to control the fortress. Who led the campaign against the rebels?
It was the Grand General, Your Majesty. His forces have already taken control of Fortress No. 1. The Grand General has just arrived at the palace. He's waiting for you in the council room alongside the nobles and ministers.
Zayne. In the second month of my reign, Zayne left the capital to deal with the rebellions on the border. It's been 6 months since the last time I saw him. To ignore the limits of his authority again. Is this his idea of a gift? No matter, I'm ready to play his game. Go forth, with the finest visage, deceive their eyes, and disguise your true heart underneath the guise.
Your Majesty.
Zayne gives me a slight nod of acknowledgement. He looks the same as I remember, stern, indifferent, and almost unchanged. Under the watchful scheming eye, under watchful scheming eyes of the court, I smile and walk towards Zayne before rightfully sitting down in the center. Zayne, you must have spent the last 6 months quelling rebellions. I trust that you haven't sustained any serious injuries.
Perhaps it's thanks to Your Majesty's blessing that I remain unscathed.
I can't help but glance in his direction. Before I can speak, the nobles below use this chance to reveal their accusations as if I've given them a signal.
Whenever the Grand General pacifies a region, he stations his troops there and refuses to leave. One might think your Majesty had given him those planets to govern.
The Empire Codex states that one must not seize territories under the Empire's protection in the name of military achievements. All reclaimed territory should be distributed among the nobility by the current ruler. And yet the Grand General's takeover of the fortress disregards the Imperial law and your Majesty's authority. I implore you to punish him for his crimes.
In unison, every noble bows and silently pressures me. They pretend to uphold the law and defend my honor, but they want to drive a wedge between me and Zayne. I look at Zayne, who has the faintest hint of a smile of his lips. Despite his indictments, he doesn't show any traces of unease. I've seen this expression countless times. I know that Zayne's actions are always come with meticulous preparations.
The Lord of Star Sector Number 3 allowed his subordinates to invade a vassal planet, plunder its resources, and destroy its starships. Would that not constitute an abuse of power? Star Sector Number 2 has been underreporting its tax revenue. If paid in full, the arrears could cover the Empire's military budget for 5 years. Imperial law also states that the punishment for such a crime is exile. Smuggling for profit, imposing extortionate levies, misappropriating supplies, falsifying production reports. These are all capital offenses the Empress must judge. Since all of you hold the Imperial law in such high regard, let us abide by it. I presume there are no objections.
I suppress the urge to laugh. When it comes to governing the Empire, Zayne and I have no fundamental disagreements. The galaxies Zayne pacified are safer in his hands compared to these nobles. Still...
Don't change the subject, Zayne. We're talking about you seizing Imperial territory for yourself.
I would call it protecting Her Majesty's territory from parasites.
You!
Setting other matters aside, the jurisdiction of Fortress Number 1 concerns Imperial defense. Only Her Majesty has the authority to... Wouldn't the Grand General's unauthorized takeover be considered an overreach of his authority?
This is precisely what I've been considering. Zayne has certainly accomplished a great deal. He has restored order to the land, yet in return he has quietly amassed more power. Out of the nobles who have remained silent, a good number maintain contact with Zayne in secret. Their silence in the council room speaks of where their true loyalties lie. It's time to make a decision. This is an opportunity I've been waiting for. Incompetent nobles, inflexible ministers, none of them is worthy of my trust. Zayne would have been that person, but as of this moment, I can no longer read his intentions. So, I shall deal with it myself. It was a nonchalant announcement.
There's no precedent for this.
As of today, there is. So consult the Codex. Is there anything that forbids the Empress from directly ruling her territory? These nobles exchange uncertain glances. For them, submitting to me is the better alternative than submitting to Zayne. The deciding factor is Zayne's attitude. I've been closely observing his reaction.
Fortress number 1 is yours, Your Majesty.
I have to thank you for quelling this rebellion, Grand General. And just like that, the fate of the distributed territory is settled. The nobles' faces fall, their eyes darting between Zayne and me. They're searching for any signs of conspiracy. Even I feel a flicker of doubt. Will Zayne truly let it end like this? To keep Zayne in check, this is hardly enough. Reclaiming galaxies is only the first step. I need to gouge Zayne's current military strength in case of wars comes to pass.
I will withdraw my troops as soon as possible to complete the process, Your Majesty.
There is no rush. I have other uses for your troops, Grand General. According to tradition, the Empress's coronation ceremony is a months-long affair. It accumulates a grand military parade. However, because of the uprising in the Steen Galaxy, Zayne ordered to take a main fleet to the border. The military parade is indefinitely postponed. It's time to hold the parade. The location will be in Fortress number 1, my newly reclaimed territory, Zayne.
I have no objections.
With a radiant smile on my face, I turn to the nobles. You will gather your armies and participate as well. It's settled then. There's nothing else. All of you are dismissed. Before the nobles react, the guards stationed outside enter the room. Because of my orders, they escort them out. Faced with the guards' weapons, they can only swallow protests and leave. Each mulls over their own thoughts. The innocent return home, and the guilty are sent to prisons on the border. Wait, Zayne. I call out to him loud enough for everyone to hear. Stay at the palace tonight. I lead him through the corridors as we leave the room that was prepared for him. Did you see those nobles' faces when I asked you to stay? Suspicious, prying, suggestive, wanting a good show, where they were eager to see what would transpire.
I imagine most won't be sleeping well tonight.
Satisfied with my victory, I turn to face Zayne and walk backward with a spring in my step. They're already placing bets on us.
On whether you'll kill me?
On how I'll kill you. I admit, some of their ideas have been inspirational.
Congratulations. The fact that you're aware means your influence is greater than what their intuition tells them.
That's not the reaction I was hoping for. I turn back around and quicken my pace. Your supporters grow in number every day. More planets pledge their allegiance to you. As for me, it doesn't matter how great my influence is. An empress such as myself is still dispensable. Silence hangs in the air behind me. I wonder what Zayne is thinking. Quite some time has passed before he speaks.
You've never been one to let others sway you.
You know me so well. A branch reaches into the corner, which blocks my path. Unwilling to bow my head, I stop beneath it and turn to face Zayne. What does my preceptor think of my decision in the council room? I deliberately inculate the old title as if to provoke him.
I was under the impression we were past that once you ascended the throne.
How so? Do you remember this tree? We planted it years ago. It's been here all this time, yet it never bloomed. Back then, I was only the crown princess, while Zayne was already the grand general with several medals. He commanded the army and oversaw the Empire's most prestigious military academy. Eager to learn the art of politics from a master, I sought him out. When I returned to the palace, Zayne was the only person I could trust and depend on during the struggle for the throne. This tree symbolizes our alliance and the trust we once shared.
You were an excellent learner.
Zayne picks up the garden shears and begins pruning the overgrown branches.
You used the military parade as a pretense to gauge the strength of my forces. In addition, you kept me here in front of everyone and used our association as a warning to the nobles. Killing two birds with one stone. It was a clever move.
Has it ever occurred to you that he meets my gaze, and I don't look away? I asked you to stay because we haven't seen each other in a long time. It wasn't necessarily because I wanted to intimidate the nobility. The journey from the border to the Empire is long. You need to properly rest. Zayne is momentarily stunned. Seeing him at a loss of word improves my mood. Your room is just ahead. You used it before, so I doubt you need me to show you the way. Was this walk always short? What a shame. I wanted to see Zayne speechless for a little longer. Holding my head high, I pass under the tree and walk away. Three years ago. In a study, Zayne and I sit across from each other and a holographic screen is between us. The combat simulation is about to begin. The Empire's deployments have been adjusted accordingly to my new defense protocol. This simulation will test its viability. Zayne attacks while I defend. The simulation ends when the Empire falls. This protocol is my chance to prove myself the crown princess. I'm taking this very seriously, which means that Zayne will show no mercy.
Checkmate. Your defenses are impeccable, Your Highness. Your execution, however, could be improved.
Stop mocking me. I'll defeat you in the next round.
I'm looking forward to it.
In the new game, I successfully avoid making any previous mistakes and gradually take control of the board. I triumphantly look at Zayne, and he still appears certain about his victory. When I realize something amiss, the tables have turned. My troops are forced to retreat, and recovery is impossible.
Is there a need to play this out?
Damn it, why can't I beat him? It doesn't matter what I do. The defense protocol is sound, but my pride is now on the line. It's not over yet. Give me a moment to think. Pretending to contemplate, I let my gaze drift to the window. Zayne, why hasn't the tree we planted bloomed yet?
It's possible that now's not the time. Some trees don't blossom in their first year.
While he's distracted, I quickly mute the simulation and stealthily reassign one of his military units to my command.
And some trees bloom when you're not looking.
I meet Zayne's gaze.
Change it back.
Cheating is a skill.
All right. However, I caught you red-handed, so your attempt failed.
I made a display. I want to take back that move. Without waiting for Zayne's answer, I reach the undo button and try to rewind the battle to the point before his counter.
I'm afraid that's prohibited.
Before I can touch a button, a layer of ice freezes
Don't
it.
give me that look. When you invited me here, you promised me that I could be merciless, no?
It's not like I need to cheat to beat you. It's midnight. The brutal score of 12-0 flashes before my eyes. Refusing to accept defeat, I hit the start button again.
Your Highness, it's time for me to leave.
Zayne stands up and I grab his hand. Finish the game with me. You can stay the night if you must. Zayne silently glances at her collapsed hands.
It would be inappropriate of me to spend the night in the Crown Princess's living quarters.
Who cares about what's appropriate? If you insist on leaving, I'll assume that you're afraid of losing to me.
It's time for you to rest.
Oh gosh, sorry, I keep yawning. Sorry. I don't need that. I need to figure out how to beat you.
What are you willing to sacrifice for victory?
He's so close that I can see my reflection in his eyes. I'm still wearing the expression of someone who refuses to lose. Don't think you can trick me into letting go. He taps the screen with his finger,
Here.
which catches my attention. He's indicating a keys fortress that I have captured early in the game. For a moment, I don't understand what he's implying.
To win a war, you must sacrifice something important.
Look, Your Majesty, it's the Valkyrie.
Fortress number 1, Empress's mothership. My thoughts are interrupted by the maid's voice. I collect myself and look out the window to the mothership's observation deck. The numbers of countless combat simulations appear before me as formations of battleships span across the starry expanse. To win, I must sacrifice something important. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see the nobles are captivated by Zayne's formidable spaceship fleets. It's exactly what I hoped for. When I hold on to the throne that was still precarious, Zayne played out a part of my adversary. He drew the amicity. I don't know how to say that word. Or scrutiny. I don't know if I'm saying that right either. Of the mobility away from me. Now the nobles are more than less under my control, but Zayne's power can't be considered a simple counterweight. He has been the greatest obstacle of my rule over the Empire. To reclaim my power as Empress, the first one I need to sacrifice must be...
Your Majesty, it's time for your speech.
The platform I'm standing on slowly rises to the comms channel, opens. The entire Imperial army waits patiently for my speech. I rein in my gaze and my thoughts and read the prepared the prepared script. The words are rote. Platitudes about the Empire's future and the Empire's glory, and Zayne displayed extraordinary merit in quelling the rebellion at Fortress Number 1. He has personally trained countless brilliant military minds and laid the foundation for the Empire's order. I recite Zayne's achievements without even glancing at my script. In regard to everything he's done for the Empire, no one knows them better than I do. I once believed that he was shouldering my burdens. Only later did I realize that what he had secured for himself was more than I had ever imagined. Zayne is the Empire's sharpest sword and its most silent guardian. Even historians known for their stern consciousness were willing to make an exception and lavish extra ink on Zayne's achievements. They left behind a rare accommodation. It is said that during the military parade in the cosmic year 649, the Empress read out his contributions to the Empire from sunrise to sunset before finishing the list. But let us skip the grand highlights of the ceremony to witness a minor unexpected incident. It was an interlude that gave the 10th parade a name fondly remembered in streets and alleys for generations. Expert from the rise and fall of the cosmic empire. With the stars of my witness, I shall bestow upon Zayne the Empire Medal on behalf of the Cosmic Empire. Zayne stands before me, his back to the crowd, his gaze rests on me. My fingers fumble with the clasps, and the medal refuses to be fastened. I become impatient, and my movements grow clumsy. Zayne slightly bends down to make it easier for me. His voice tingled with amusement, and his breath is so close that it almost caresses my neck.
You appear to be rather reluctant to bestow this medal, Your Majesty.
Having secured the pin, I take this opportunity to pat him twice on the chest, a little harder than necessary. It's under the pretext of smoothing his uniform. You've taken another prize from me. Did you expect me to celebrate with fanfare?
In any case, I've prepared a gift for you, Your Majesty.
Before long, a sword is brought forth. It gleams with a chilling light. This material is blade silver. Blade silver is a remarkably hard alloy, and weapons forged from it is exceptionally sharp. The key mineral is the synthesis is found only in Steen Galaxy. The forging technique is exclusive to their people. What is the meaning behind this gift? Under the watchful eyes of all present, Zayne gets down on one knee and presents the weapon to me.
Blade silver is resilient and unbreakable. I present this sword to Your Majesty in the hopes that the bond between us will prove to be indestructible. May the Empire grow stronger under your reign.
The Grand General is swearing fealty to the Empress. Does this mean they're no longer rivals?
Will the Grand General truly be content to stand in the Empress's shadow?
Amidst the whispers, I lower my gaze towards Zayne. The sword he holds casts a shadow over his face. It obscures his expression. Yet I can see that sheath is engraved with my favorite flower, jasmines. Did you have these carved for me?
Yes.
All of this effort. Are you trying to rekindle what we once had? Everyone around us holds their breath. They're waiting to see how Zayne will respond to my pointed question. Composed, Zayne rises and fastens the sword around my belt with practical ease. Just as I'm about to step back, he wraps an arm around my waist and holds me in place. He cuts me off calmly.
Has it ever occurred to you that I'm simply keeping a promise? I said I'd give you a proper weapon as a gift for your coronation.
His words catch me off guard. Is this counterattack for when I told him I needed him to properly rest?
The rebellion was unforeseen. I'm afraid I was late by 210 days. Fortunately, you're still willing to accept it, Your Majesty.
For 210 days. It's been exactly 210 days since he left. I don't remember if I refuted him. This ceremony became known as the Jasmine Festival. For a long time afterward, a belated gift was called the Empress's Jasmine. So, traveler walking amongst the stars, should you find yourself regrettably absent from one of life's pivotal moments, do not forget to bring a bouquet of jasmines. Expert from the rise and fall of the Cosmic Empire. The military parade has ended. I'm back in my room staring at my reflection in the mirror. My gaze falls to the sword at my waist. It's an inflexible irritation in my heart. An itch I couldn't scratch. I accepted Zayne's gift, but I have no idea what he's trying to imply.
There is no need to be upset with the sword, Your Majesty. Let me stow it away in the darkest corner of the cosmos. I promise, you'll never lay eyes on it again.
She reaches for it, but I don't let go. It's a beautiful sword. Unconsciously, I run my hand over the sheath of the ambrosed jasmine petals are cool and defined. They're like him. Only now do I realize that it wasn't the sword that bothered me. It was the way he presented it. He was so composed and assured, as if he knew I'd keep it. Seeing my silence, the maid smiles and presents a beautiful dress.
Your Majesty, you manage countless affairs of the Empire. Even when you're at the border, you oversee every detail. You should take some time to unwind. A ball is being held for the soldiers later. If you make an appearance, I'm sure many will line up to dance with you. You could choose any fine gentleman. Perhaps you'll forget about the Grand General then.
Who said he was on my mind? My fingertips rest on the last jasmine petal of the sheath as I narrow my eyes. Indeed, I need to unwind. When I step into the brilliantly lit ballroom, all conversation ceases. Even the music falters for a beat. Filled with awe, curiosity, or reverence, dozens of eyes turn to me, smiling. I raise a glass to toast the room. At ease, everyone. I'm here for a dance, not an inspection. The music resumes. A young officer approaches me. His ears are
Your
red.
Majesty, may I have the honor of this dance?
My gaze travels to his equilates of his boots before settling back on his nervous expression. Almost instinctively, I begin to analyze his background, rank, posture, and even the tone of his voice, and most importantly, his motives. Then I realize I'm analyzing a young man who only mustered up the courage to ask me for a dance. My maid's words rang true. I've been trapped in the Empire's games for too long. It's time to try some of life's simple joys. My first dance is yours.
Yes, Your Majesty. I will always be loyal to you.
His unfiltered display of fondness makes me smile. This candid admiration and reverence. Haven't I been looking for those? For some reason, my thoughts drift back to Zayne. Today, he pledged his loyalty to me before everyone. But where does his heart truly lie? I place my hand on the young soldiers and walk toward the center of the dance floor under everyone's gaze. He won't even dare to look at me, and I feel awkward. I'm unsure how to dance with someone like this. The ballroom's door swung open, and sudden noise brings the orchestra to a halt. It feels as though the air has been sucked from the room. Only frozen silence remains. A familiar set of footsteps echoes across the floor. A crowd parts like a tide, and Zayne comes in to stop before me.
Find someone else for your first dance.
Yes, sir.
The young soldier jolts like a new recruit being called on. He salutes before hurrying away. I stare at my empty palm. You scared off my dance partner. Zayne extends his hand as an invitation to dance.
In that case, I'll be his replacement. After the military parade, rumors say we're in the midst of a power struggle. Supposedly, we're conspiring to fool the nobles and claim those looking to pick a side between us are watching. So, shall we take this opportunity to...
Getting a sincere invitation out of you is almost impossible. Come on, there we go. As we move to the center of the dance floor, the orchestra strikes a melody I knew all too well. I look up and meet Zayne's mirthful gaze. Do you still remember the steps?
It's been a long time.
This was the first formal dance I performed at my debutante. I don't know how to say that word. As the crown princess, Zayne was the only one who practiced with me back then. During the ball, he took my hand and led me to the dance floor. With a sea of calculating, suspicious glares around us, he offered his support and trust. But now, can we even say one honest word to each other again? During our dance, I lean in as we turn and speak softly. Why did you actually try to find me tonight?
Perhaps I simply wanted to dance like your majesty.
I don't believe you. It's because I can't bring myself to focus entirely on the dance. You're here to keep an eye on me. I won't let you win. You won't let me win over your soldiers. It's a cunning
How many
move.
people were you planning to dance with tonight?
Before I process his words, Zayne's hand presses into my waist. I spin with the music and realize I can only find balance within his grasp. Is he jealous? The music swells to its most passionate crescendo? I don't know. Couples hold their partners close as they spin and weave across the parquet. The dance floor turns into a swirling vortex. Seeing the sight of Zayne is a rare treat. I seize this opportunity to whisper a wicked joke into his ear. I haven't decided yet. It depends on what I can get out of it. Zayne, you've always had good taste. Why don't you help me pick one? For example, that man over there.
He has a family.
Then that one?
He has sworn an oath of abstinence to the stars.
Am I supposed to believe that? What about the young soldier from before? I'm so busy looking around that I miss the music shifting to its languid finale. I step on Zayne's foot. The arm at my waist suddenly tightens and I'm pulled into his embrace.
What kind of game are you playing tonight? Is there a reason that forbids you from choosing me?
Unable to break free, I meet his gaze without backing down. My playful mood is gone. It's replaced with a nameless, irresistible impulse. Are you asking me because I won't consider you, or is it because you've never given me the chance to? I can see what every single person in this room wants from me. It's plain, raw, and within my control. But you're the only one I can't read, even when you're standing right in front of me. Zayne releases his grip.
The allure of that fervor, adoration, and worship is fleeting. You'll tire of it eventually. What you truly need is...
As the first dance ends, fireworks bloom against the night sky. Everyone's gaze is drawn to the brilliant display outside. The fireworks drawn outside Zayne's words, yet the impulse within me has ignited. I push Zayne to a shadowy corner of the ballroom and kiss him. It isn't particularly passionate, but it's enough to make Zayne's thoughts stop. Now he's focused solely on me. As fireworks illuminate the sky once more, Zayne leans in. He's oh. Never mind, sorry. I know his prized personality is vaporized at the moment. On this very night. In dazzling fireworks light up the ball, Zayne and I slip away unnoticed. We hold each other close as we hurry down the corridor and tumble into my bedchamber. His kisses are like rain and melt into me like fresh snow. My heart finds itself dancing in a frantic rhythm. Forget the etiquette, politics. Forget all those other reasons.
Tonight, I'm the only one you need.
I won't uncover his secrets, outwit his sharp mind, or control his destiny. All I want is him at this moment. The afterglow of our passion hangs in the air. I stir and roll over before waking up in Zayne's arms. My mind is blank. The ornate patterns of the ceiling swim before my eyes, and it takes me a moment to remember where I am. Zayne is asleep, his breathing deep. However, his brow is furrowed as if he's troubled by his dreams. What are you thinking about? I smooth the worry from his forehead, but then my bracelet suddenly abruptly buzzes against my wrist. My secretary is calling in the middle of the night. I feel my eyebrow twitch. I clamp my hand over the bracelet before it can wake Zayne. For some reason, a sense of foreboding rises in my heart. I slip out of bed quietly as possible. Leaving the bedchamber, I answer the call.
Your Majesty, we just received a confession from Major Wace at the border prison.
Go on.
Major Wace has confessed that the mastermind behind the Fortress Number 1 rebellion is the Grand General.
There's only silence. Keep going.
According to Major Wace, the Grand General had long coveted Fortress Number 1 as a means to expand his forces, and had, during Sen's rebellion, the Grand General promised him a substantial reward and a promotion. He persuaded him to abandon the fortress and defect to Sten. But the Grand General went back on his word and arrested him for treason. As a result, Wace decided to tell us everything.
A conspiracy always seems simple once it's laid there. When I return to my bedchamber, should I confront Zayne? Lay the cards on the table, or should I kill him? Wace refused to speak about his defection since his arrest, yet after all this time, the first words of his mouth were accusations against Zayne. How credible is his confession? My thoughts churn in chaos. However, one thing is clear. I have an opportunity. Regardless of the truth, this is all I need to topple Zayne from his position. I won't have any rivals left to challenge my authority, and then the concept balancing royal authority can be eased with the Empire's history. But I touch the red mark on my neck. It's where the warmth of Zayne's touch still lingers.
Your Majesty, shall we continue with the investigation?
Investigate discreetly, and do not alert
Understood.
Zayne. Venom, hi, welcome in, sweetie. How are you? I hope that you're doing well. How have you been? When morning arrives, it isn't birdsong or sunlight streaming into the bedchamber that awakes me. Rather, it's the warmth of Zayne's arm against my back. I turn and see he's already awake. I'm fine, I guess.
Good morning, Your Majesty.
I guess I can say the same about myself. How are you? How's life been treating you? I'm okay. I've been kind of dealing with some stuff. Like family stuff. It's which has kind of been hard lately. But I'm okay other than that. I don't think that the Grand General is supposed to say good morning to his Empress in a place like this.
Doesn't it lend credence to the rumors that we are conspiring for power?
I note the hint of the smile on Zayne's lips and glare at him, pressing an exasperated... Why do you always do that to me? Eventually, a hand to my forehead. I push him away and swing my legs out of bed. My feet land on something soft. I look down. Our clothes are strewn all over the floor. As if on cue, a knock comes from the door. My headache My headache worsens.
Your Majesty, the Foreign Minister is waiting for you at the door. Halron, the Stain Galaxy's leader, would like to negotiate.
Deepspace. It is a mobile game. I've streamed it before. It was a few months ago, though, the last time that I streamed this, though, so I'm trying to get caught up on banners. I turn to look at Zayne. He's already getting out of bed and calmly pulling on his shirt. His bracelet beeps. After fastening the last button, he raises
General?
his wrist and answers the call.
Where are you? The Foreign Minister is looking for you. The Stein Galaxy's leader, Halron, has requested to begin negotiations with the Empire.
Understood. I'm on my way to the council room.
Given why didn't you let me read that? Given the urgent situation, there's no time to worry about appearances. Let's go together.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
That's what I was trying to say. There we go.
Your Majesty, Grand General? What are you... Ahem. This is convenient. I'll ask the people I sent to find the Grand General to return at once.
Basically, we
15
are
minutes
looking
ago,
into
we received
him
the latest
because
intel.
he's like a Grand
Stein's
General
forces
in
have
this,
arrived at the edge of the
in
Allure
this banner.
Galaxy.
And my MC is basically an empress, and she wants to rule over him.
The rebel leader, Halron, is leading the delegation.
He's bold. To leave Steen after his coup, has he already stabilized his position?
There are still many within Stein who oppose Halron. The main reason is his regicide and usurpation. That's why he's desperate to find an external enemy. He needs to convince his people that he's not a usurper. Rather, he simply replaced a weak, incompetent leader.
So this enemy is the Empire, me. I turn to Zayne, who stands before the holographic map. You're well informed of their internal affairs.
I'm merely doing my duty.
Zayne zooms in on the map. He's solely focused on the current position of the Halron's fleet.
Halron's fleet has adopted a battle formation. They're ready to open fire at a moment's notice.
Your Majesty, these negotiations might be nothing more than a formality, but many of the smaller galaxies affiliated with the Empire are watching. The best course of action would be for you to appear in person.
Halron is truly a golden standard for these opportunist rats. Then again, I can make an example out of him. I currently need something like that. Before I can respond to the foreign master, Zayne speaks up first.
I'll go. I faced Halron on the battlefield before. I'm the person who knows him best.
It does this every time. Whenever I try and read, it just likes to go fast. I'm like, dude. It's a plausible reason. However, considering the classified report I received last night, I can't help but suspect that Zayne might be concluding with Halron in secret. If galaxies are waiting to see my response, then why should I hide behind the Grand General? We'll go together. Besides, the situation is volatile. Who knows? This might be the last time we'll ever see each other. Zayne chuckles softly and he quietly composes himself and turns to his subordinate.
Select a suitable battleship and ensure the escort fleet is ready for battle. Be prepared for any contingency.
Yes, sir.
Venom, it's been so long since the last time I saw you, dude. I missed you. There's no need for that. We'll take the Valkyrie. I'm familiar with its specs. The diplomatic fleet consisting of the Valkyrie and several escort spaceships departs from Fortress Number 1. Out of boredom, I pull up the screen in front of my seat. I tap it a few times and the display is flooded with red warnings. Classified files, access denied. The security measures are second to none.
Warning. Unidentified battleship detected. The Valkyrie has been targeted.
What's happening? Trouble arrives sooner than I expected. A bright flash erupts outside the window. It's followed by a violent shudder that rocks the entire battleship. Is that Harlan's fleet?
Hold on tight. The escorts are following emergency protocols.
Zayne pushes me back into my seat. It's almost by reflex and fastens my safety harness. Above his head, a panel of conduits crashes down. I grab his arm and pull him toward me. You should be careful too.
Thank you.
The escort spaceships try to draw their fire, and the Harlan's attack is brutally straightforward. They ignore their escorts and focus on their firepower on the Valkyrie. As the battle rages, the auto navigation system becomes unreliable. Zayne switches it to manual control. The Valkyrie charges toward in an attempt to break through the encirclement. I bite my lip and glance at Zayne. His brow is furrowed as mine. If Zayne is working with Harlan, then what's happening?
The main power module has been damaged. Please land immediately.
The nearest landing site.
The view on site is strikingly familiar. Memories from a long time ago surface in my mind as Zayne and I speak in unison.
Planet Valkyrie.
It's a planet Zayne and I know very well, and it's a Imperial military academy was here previously. Without saying another word, Zayne pulls up the coordinates and initiates the warp. I can't speak. The violent aftershocks of the warp rock the battleship. The involuntary tremor runs through me, and I clench my fist. Suddenly, I feel warmth on the back of my hand. I look down and see that Zayne is holding my hand. This might be the end. Do you have any last words for me?
I'm sorry.
The shield barrier slams in front of us, but the massive impact still takes me. I didn't get to read the half of it, but that's okay. Valkyrie Military Academy. Hazy afternoon, a light flickers in the air. Today is the Crown Princess Coming of Age ceremony, and the Military Academy has given everyone a day off. They're currently participating in the festivities. And the Crown Princess herself, me, is exhausted from the endless flattery and nisties. So I've slipped away. This is the only time the hangar is empty. I dug inside the ajar gate and rows of training spacecraft appear. I venture deeper into the caravan space. My gaze lands to the brand new battleship that's docked from a far end of the row. Valkyrie. Named after the Empire's most prestigious military academy, she has to be state-of-the-art. Let's do a flight test at least. I open the hatch and hop into the pilot's seat, peel the protective film from the console. Then I pull out a fingerprint mold. I went through so much trouble to get this fingerprint from Zayne's sunglasses. It better work. I press the mold against the ignition panel and the authorization light flashes green. Ecstatic, I pat the pilot's seat, not police. I can't speak. I knew Zayne's fingerprint would work. Oh.
Where are you running off to, Your Highness?
Just as I'm about to fire up the ignitions and fly off to into the thrilling unknown, Zayne's voice cuts through the speakers. Zayne, my preceptor, my subordinate, the bane of my existence, and the guardian of record listed on my academy registry until today. Staring at me through the screen, he's standing before the battleship with his sunglasses on. How he figured out I was here is beyond me. Stealing myself, I jab the ship's comms button. I'm ready to project to an unyielding authority of a mature crown princess. Move aside, otherwise I'll run you over. Zayne smiles.
Be my guest. But if you fail to silence me, I'm doubling tonight's lesson on tactical deployment.
I slumped back into my seat. Grand General, you're one of the only Empire's priceless treasures. Would anyone dare to lay a hand on you? Not ready to admit defeat, I slam the comms button again. I'm not going anywhere. I'm tired. Surely I can take a nap in here. Good afternoon. Dozing off, I close my eyes. A moment later, I feel someone sit beside me.
Your breathing tells me you're pretending to be asleep.
Says who? You woke me up. What are you going to do about it?
I can put you back to sleep if you'd like.
Why does that sound scary? That won't be necessary. A mischievous idea pops into my head, and I pluck the sunglasses off of him and put them on. I rest my head on his shoulder, but it's not enough. I pat his chest. What a nice pillow. I'm borrowing this too. I snuggle up against him, trying to find a warm, comfortable spot in his embrace.
Is there anything else? We might as well deal with them now.
A blanket would be nice. It's freezing in the Valkyrie. Maybe I could use your coat.
If you're keen on turning a battleship into your bedroom,
If you keep
I can always enroll you in the course for
Sorry.
tactical
Whoops.
simulation and field survival. You'll get to sleep in one for a month.
Stop twisting my words. I'm going to sleep now. Feeling Zayne's move, I protest immediately. Surely the mighty Grand General wouldn't deny someone her sleep. Am I mistaken, my dearest preceptor?
If you want to sleep, do so properly. Stop squirming.
He holds me in his arms and I feel warmer. You're always stopping me from doing things. Why is this an exception?
I can't forbid someone from sleeping. And once you wake up, you'll be well rested. It's perfect for having a long night filled with lessons.
Maybe you shouldn't wake me up. My eyelids grow heavy. What started as a prank to annoy Zayne is giving away my genuine drowsiness. Zayne, I offered to come of age today. I wish I could stop at this moment. Soon, I'll return to the palace and become the Empress. An Empress has a lot of power, and you have your own authority. When that day comes, can we still be like this? I feel Zayne holding me closer, but it might be a figment of my imagination.
No. When you ascend the throne, individuals whose power rivals yours will become your enemy. This also applies to those who are weaker than you. And it includes me. When that time comes, I won't only be stopping you from sneaking out to have fun. I will counter every decision you make.
I don't mind. I'm barely awake, but I refuse to concede defeat. I push the sunglasses up and look at him. I never needed anyone's permission to do what I want. Just before I drift off, I think I hear Zayne's soft, approving chuckle. Then there's something warm is draped over me. It's his coat. It's cold. I tighten my grip around the coat that's draped over me. Even now, what I'm lying on feels hard and forgiving. Shaking my head, I notice how something's not right. I open my eyes. What Zayne's coat is covering, I'm lying on the Valkyrie's plush sheets. Above me is the spaceship damaged hull. Memories of the Herland's attack flood my mind. Fully awake, I realized I was dreaming. Why was it about my coming of age ceremony? Many years have passed since then. I slowly sit up. Zayne is in the pilot's console and calibrating battleship's systems. From the window, I can see night has fallen.
How are you feeling?
My shoulders are sore.
You don't have external wounds. However, you should drink something to replenish your energy.
I take the bottle from Zayne and return his coat to him. Seeing that I'm alright, Zayne turns back to the battleship system. His back is exposed to me. The sword he'd given me is within arm's reach. The truth is, after my coming of age ceremony, I had countless opportunities to get rid of him with the most upper-handed of means, but I never did. It's because of his victories on the battlefield. He's my most capable subordinate, and I take a sip of the drink. Also because of the acts of kindness that have nothing to do with power.
The main power module reboot has failed.
We're stranded here for now, but the comms module wasn't badly damaged. It's already been repaired.
Zayne accesses the comms channel and reconnects the Imperial Central Command. A familiar voice comes through.
Your Majesty, are you alright?
I'm well. What's the current situation in the Empire? The Sanctuary quickly debriefs me on what happened since our emergency landing. War had broken out at a terrifying speed, and the military launched a counterattack based on the contingency plans we left and kept losses to a minimum.
The readings show that Valkyrie's power module is severely damaged. Should we dispatch a fleet to retrieve you?
Anyone who wants to approach planet Valkyrie will have to navigate an active war zone. It's safer to remain here.
The planet was decommissioned during a defense reforms I spearheaded, but its basic defense system were never dismantled. It retains some capability for stealth and counterattacks. We'll assure some commands from here. What I need you to do is leak the report to Herland's ambush failed. So we've returned to the capital. The Imperial Army will have Harlon pay.
Understood, Your Majesty.
As I speak, I watch Zayne's reaction. If he truly is colluding with Harlon, then this would be a perfect opportunity to find out. Over the next several days, Zayne and I methodically repair the battleship. We reactivate the Academy's discommissioned service bots and take up residence at the old dormitories. Sometimes when I wake up in the dorm's familiar ceiling, I feel slightly disoriented. It's as if I'm still the crown princess studying at the academy, and my relationship with Zayne is yet to become complicated. On planet Valkyrie, the days and nights are unnaturally long. The atmosphere dome is still broken, and it glitches out again as Zayne and I finish repairing the Valkyrie's hull. We sit at the top of the spaceship, idly watch a star sink forward the horizon. Time seems to leisurely pass, and our breathing slows with it. I nudge Zayne's knee with mine. Before the Valkyrie went down, you said you were sorry. What were you talking about?
It was nonsense. Don't think too much about it.
I don't believe you. Zayne put away his toolbox. His gaze follows the star where the Academy forests lie in the distance.
That tree in the palace. The one that has yet to bloom. You transplanted it from the Academy, yes?
I did, but I knew that I'd stop blossoming. It stopped blossoming once it moved. Why do you think it's so stubborn? I turned Zayne's face to me. I'm trying to imply it's clear and cute every word. Should I resort to something more extreme? Should I cut off its favorite sweet water supply? Or should I mess with its lush leaves? Zayne's eyes crinkle with amusement, and I'm taken back. I haven't seen him smile like that in a long time. I didn't mean to press that. Whoops.
Your expression tells me that you can't believe I'm capable of smiling. The novelty will inevitably wear off.
I doubt it. No matter what happens, I always want to see you smile more. More time passes. The star sinks below the horizon and sinks once more. One morning, an escort starship lands on planet Valkyrie. After clearing out ambushers, Zayne's personal guards arrive to assist us. They bring with them tidings of war. A tactical classroom is converted into a command center where daily strategy meetings are held. The situation becomes clear. Fortress Number 1 was played a critical role in this war. Soon we'll be leaving planet Valkyrie. But I haven't forgotten Major Waze's accusation against Zayne. Under the guise of repairing the battleship, I've been searching for clues to remote assistance from my secretary these past few days.
Highest clearance level has been granted.
I press the key and the erased classified data is restored. Whether or not Zayne colluded with Harlon will soon be revealed. A storm of data floods the screen, and 3 automatically logged pass before me. Zayne met Harlon before the border more than once. I can't believe he could tolerate making deals with such a man. There's also a heavy encrypted attachment. The password is... I tentatively type the string of numbers. It's my birthday. The day when I get a little older. I don't know whether to feel bitter or glad. The decrypted file reveals an agreement. There's only a few clues, but they spell out every step of Steen's rebellion in great detail. Zayne would construct Mayor Ways, who was stationed at the border to secretly help Herlon usurp power, seize the Stain Galaxy, and decline succession. Once Ways defeated, Zayne would step in and suppress the rebellion, which gave him a legitimate reason to take command of Fortress Number 1 and weaken the Empress's authority. Then Zayne would quell the unrest caused by the civil war in the Empire and seize power for himself. The final line of agreement states that the Empress would be handed over to Zayne. He'd take her life to ensure she would never oppose him again. The star is falling, and I hear a distant rumbling. Only when I close my eyes, I hear it clearly. The sound is deep within my heart. So you were plotting against me the whole time. Assuming this is true, I no longer need to waver about standing against Zayne. Begin immediate preparations for the military tribunal against Zayne.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Everything will set in motion once we leave planet Valkyrie and return to
What are you doing?
To the Empire. I heard a voice behind me. My hand jerks and the switches disconnects the comms channel. Zayne walks in. I avert my gaze, not wanting to look at him. I respond half-heartedly. I'm looking around, killing time. Is the cancel war over? Zayne nods and takes the pilot seat. Only then did I realize I switched the screen to the combat simulation.
Were you waiting for me?
Wordlessly, I sat down, pressed start, and choose the defending side as usual. The simulation begins. Zayne's primary target is the strategic fortress. The fortress's defenses is sluggish. It falls to Zayne in moments. I'll let you have it.
That's a new excuse.
I flawlessly counter Zayne's subsequent attacks and let him believe that I made a careless mistake. Patiently, I set up a trap of spans into the entire board. Finally,
I suppose I lost.
Yes, it's about time you did. I stand up. I resolve that a resolve that doesn't falter is needed to defeat Zayne. He once told me, for the sake of a victory, one must sometimes sacrifice what matters most. At long last, I've made up my mind. I'm determined to turn the tide on this war. It means I'm determined to sacrifice Zayne. The war between the Empire and the Stain Galaxy intensified, with Zayne leading the military. Herlon's forces crumbled. We receive a report from the front line. Herlon has been captured alive and is being held in a border prison. Despite the trouble he's caused, Zayne and I have a strange, unspoken agreement that has never mentioned his name again. 2 days later, the Valkyrie repairs are complete. We set a course and return to the Empire. As we head back, I close my eyes and pretend to sleep, but my mind races. Zayne is always cautious. To ensure I deal with a deceived attack, I need more evidence. Ways' testimony, the recovered data from the battleship, and how long. Nothing would carry the weight of a confession more than the leader of the Stain Galaxy. I can't afford to keep displaying things. I must see him in person. Gouging our Sorry. Oh gosh. Gouging our distance between the border prison, I pull up the navigation system and change our destination.
You've changed our course?
I'm going to interrogate how long?
You can leave that to your subordinates. Our current priority is to return to the Empire so all the factions can see you're safe and sound.
I let out a cold laugh and my voice drips with sarcasm. You don't want me to go? Are you afraid what Helen might tell me about you? Suddenly changing our courses calculated a move to catch Zayne off guard. And Zayne, a master of handling emergencies, is now uncharacteristically silent.
You
should address me as Your Majesty. While the Valkyrie lands at the border prison, I activate the battleship's internal comms and summon Zayne's personal guards. Secure the Valkyrie. Unless I give the orders, Zayne cannot leave the battleships. No one is allowed to approach him. The guards freeze and look at Zayne, the Grand General they've always served. You didn't hear me? The air grows so cold that it feels solid. A moment passes before the guards slowly surround Zayne. If you fail, you shall enter the burden of his guilt. I look at Zayne. He shows no anger nor panic. He doesn't even ask what crime I intend to charge him with. But my decisions never required his approval. Caroline is brought in, but there is no scratch on him. I suspect he is surrendering to the Imperial Guards with little to no resistance. You're a smart man, so I'll ask this once. The smuggling weapons between you and Zayne. With someone like him, honestly, you won't get you anywhere. Honesty, sorry. I put extra stress on arms smuggling and watch Caroline's reaction closely. Did you approach Zayne first, or did Zayne contact you?
How did you find out? He came to me, of course. Your Majesty's rewards weren't enough for him, so he decided to fill his own pockets.
I see. So you have no idea what the agreement was about. I deliberately subdued a coup with smuggling, but he didn't even notice.
Does it matter? Isn't it better to let a misunderstanding work in your favor? Your Majesty, you can order me to testify against Zayne. I am here to serve. I promise you won't regret it.
He's testing his best to persuade me, but I don't hear a word he's saying. If Halong knew nothing about the agreement, then where did the hidden document I found come from? Trembling like a leaf, Wave is cowering on the floor before me. There is not a single trace of the mayor he once was.
The Grand General's treason. I don't know anything.
This is your own confession, yet you claim to know nothing? I don't have all day to play games with you, or would you rather have a little chat with Zayne?
Wait! I'll talk!
Mentioning Zayne's name is enough to make him deflate like a punctured sack of flour. He tells me everything. Everyone knew about Fortress Number 1 was impregnable. No one could ever conquer it, and Waze believed that too. So he postponed his routine inspections and cut corners on security patrols. When he realized his negligence had created a fatal vulnerability in their defenses, Steen's forces had already broken through. In his panic, Waze chose to defect to the Steen galaxy to save himself.
But in the end, the Grand General captured me and brought me back.
And the confession?
I didn't do it willingly, Your Majesty. On that day, visiting hours were over when someone approached my cell.
I try to keep my breathing steady.
It was the Grand General. He forced me to accuse him of treason.
You can start preparing your statement now.
Grand General, you're joking, yes?
Several ice shards pin Wade's prison uniform in place.
I understand. You were my accomplice in betraying the Empire.
Are you playing make-believe?
Zayne gambled with the Imperial defenses. He ordered me to lose so Stein's forces could invade.
That's not heinous enough.
He promised he'd let me go, but he went back on his word and arrested me. Then he tortured me.
Continue.
Zayne also said that the Empress is unfit to rule the Empire. He'd inevitably kill her.
Excellent.
Grand General, if this confession falls into the Empress's hands, she could use it to get rid of you. The Empress controls the court, and the nobles who support you will flock to her side. Her authority will be absolute.
An empress with absolute power. Is there anything wrong with that?
My heart is pounding. I don't even remember how I made it out of the border prison. The young empress needed a political opponent, a rival to keep her in check. If it wasn't Zayne, then it would be one of the nobles watching her like a hawk. Zayne was the person she knew and trusted the most. With him, she could sit securely on her throne. In time, the Empress began to demonstrate her ambition and talent. If Zayne remained, a civil war might break out. So there's only one solution. Once the giant brought down, the Empress could rule the unified empire. At the moment, I remember the combat simulation abroad at the Valkyrie. Did I actually defeat Zayne?
Your Majesty, an urgent military report has arrived.
The secretary hurries toward me and I grab her arm. Immediately cancel the military travel for Zayne.
Your Majesty, it's too late. The military has already announced charges of treason against the Grand General to the public. The entire Empire knows the Grand General has betrayed the Empire. And you.
The evidence of the military received it couldn't have been provided by Zayne himself. He sacrificed his own reputation to give me the one gift I've always wanted. The anger and frustration I've suppressed for so long burst into water surging through a broken dam. I storm through onto the battleship. As soon as I am through the hatch, I see the guards assigned to Zayne. They're nothing more than unmoving pillars of ice. I took a few steps and the hatch closes behind me. The battleship ignites the room to life. I don't care where it's going. I only want to find Zayne and demand an answer.
Coordinates confirmed. Returning to Allure.
Oh, look at him. He looks so good. He looks so handsome.
You're here?
Are you eager for my judgment? Allow me to... Okay.
This spaceship will return to its home planet. But we can never go back to what we were. I gave you that sword, and you wield it well. I've told you before, you must never show mercy to traitors.
You knew this the whole time. Power can only
Your Majesty, this is the price of mercy. Yes, the very betrayal I've committed. Consider it my final lesson. Congratulations, you've matured. My Empress.
News of Zayne's treason spread throughout the Empire overnight. The public's fury overwhelmed reason. In an ensuring outrage, military authority has smoothly transferred into my hands. I officially began my reign without delicate balance of power Zayne I had created. The Empire had ran an exceptional efficiency, and leeches who once had bargained with me only had to bow their heads in submission. But Zayne's fate remained a thorn on my side. My position prevented me from publicly exonerating Zayne. It appeared as though I was acting on personal feelings and would destabilize the political situation I secured. With my tactic approval, two groups appeared before me. Nothing the political situation. One fraction did everything in their power to slander Zayne, diminish his accomplishments, and exaggerate his ambitions. The other argued fiercely on Zayne's behalf and begged me to restore his status and honor. After a heated debate, I gave a verdict. Zayne would be confined to his home planet. He was forbidden from taking a single step outside of it. After a long day of tedious imperial affairs, I deftly opened my window and brought a private vessel when no one was watching. I used a familiar route to reach Zayne's home planet. It's late, but he's still awake. He's living a life of leisure now. He spends his days reading, eating desserts, and making ice sculptures. He even found the time to write 142 treasuries on the military strategy. When I find him, he's resting on a lounge chair. A neat row of small ice sculptures rest at his feet. I know you're not asleep. Stop pretending.
And what's your excuse for neglecting your duties this time, Your Majesty?
The tree in the palace has bloomed, you lazy man. I gently tuck a flower into his lapel. I picked up this earlier from the tree. If you want to see what it looks like in full bloom, you should return to the palace soon.
So you're visiting because of the flower?
I'm here for you, of course. With a huff, I give him a new verdict. Within 2 years, I found a way to revoke my previous sentence and restore your honor. And when I do, you'll be in charge of running the military academy. Instead of getting up, Zayne only settles deeper into his lounge chair. The smile never leaves his face. Did you hear me? 2 years is too long as it is. Stop grinning.
But I recall you saying you wanted me to smile more.
I lean down and tease him more, but he pulls me into his
I only
arms.
have 2 years of peace and quiet
The ice sculptures tumble.
left. I should make the most of it and rest while I can.
Nestled in his embrace, I look at the stars and remember the first time I met Zayne. The night was exactly like this. Back then, it took me a significant amount of effort to track Zayne down. I flew my spaceship alone across the galaxy and landed here.
Could it even be called a landing? Based on what I remember, it was more like a crash. When you saw me, your first words weren't a request for help. You demanded me to be your advisor and help you claim the throne.
You refused and handed me an acceptance letter to the military academy. It was a test. And now I've approached him again with the same reason. I want him to rule the Empire with me. I held out my hand. Will you give it to me this time? He places his palm over mine.
Myself.
I smile and take his hand. Anger once clouded their judgment, and power once consumed their reason. On the path of the pinnacle of power, the Empress raised her sword only to gently lay it down. The Grand General, who was a single step away from the throne, turned and left. Two hearts once burned for power, soon trembled for love. Expert of the rise and fall of the Cosmic Empire.